I'm off to a really good start today. I'm trying to record and I didn't have my battery in my camera, so I had to go look for it. Okay, so now we're on part 53. This one's called Line A. Wow, SETI 6EQUJ5 Big Ear Alien UFO I found 19 hours, 27 minutes, 51.31 seconds. Google Sky. Something that looks like a UFO or a planet, I'm not sure what it is. But anyways, that's what we're going to be talking about, as well as the WOW signal. And so this is about the 6EQUJ5, which is that equation there in the WOW. Okay, there's the graph there. Equation's 2 divided by 411. So Big Ear says, the 6EQUJ5 code in channel 2 means successive intensity is as follows. And it talks about the ranges that it's in. Okay? I don't know what that means, but it's there for you to look at. Okay? So here's more about the WOW signal. I looked it up here to find out more about it. So the location of the signal was at epoch J2000.0. The right ascension on the positive horn is 19 hours, 25 minutes, and 31 seconds, plus and minus 10 seconds. The right ascension on the negative horn is 19 hours, 28 minutes, 22 seconds, plus and minus 10 seconds. And the declination is the same for both horns, minus 26D 57M, plus minus 20M. Okay? So, and that's from the SETI website there. Okay, so this is where I looked at it on another map here. It shows the different star signs. WOW is basically picked up close to Sagittarius. Okay, there's the Corona Australis and the Scutum Serpens up here. M25, M22. So I would say it's between M55 and M54, and above M70 and below M22. Okay, so it's in this jurisdiction here is where they think they found it, this alien signal. So I know I've repeated this, but there are a lot of people that are coming in onto the videos. There's actually 56 before this one. Sorry, 53. There is about 100 altogether, so you might want to backtrack and see what the other ones are about, because they're all related to one another. And I've joined them all together as a response, so hopefully YouTube shows them as a response, because some of them didn't come up after I went through all the trouble to do it. Okay? So the WOW signal was a strong narrowband radio signal detected by Dr. Jerry Eyman on August 15, 1977, while working on a SETI project at the Big Ear Radio Telescope of the Ohio State University, then located at Ohio Wesleyan University's Perkins Observatory, Delaware, Ohio. The signal bore expectant hallmarks of potential non-terrestrial and non-solar system origin. So I'm going to show you what non-terrestrial means and non-solar system means, okay? It lasted for about 72-second duration that Big Ear observed it, but has not been detected again. The signal has been the subject of significant media attention. Amazed at how closely the signal matched the expected signature of an interstellar signal in the antenna used, Eyman circled the signal on the computer printout and wrote the comment "WOW" on its side. This comment became the name of the signal. The reason he thought it was an alien signal is because, as you can see, regular binary code is 1s and 2s and 0s, right? So in this section here, we've got a 6EQUJ5, and when that signal came up, he's like, wow, that's different. So it's listed as alien. So we have alien plus my little drawing here equals non-terrestrial. So you can remember that. I looked up non-terrestrial. I didn't know what it meant when I first came across the word. So it's not from the planet Earth, it's extraterrestrial. And that was from answers.com, topic non-terrestrial. And then, see this little guy here? Is that what I think it is? A UFO. Okay, so on Google Sky I found this thing. I don't know what it is. I thought maybe it's a UFO or it's a planet. But you can see there's a lot of stuff around it and everything, right? So, that thing there. Okay? It's kind of hard. So, my thoughts. Look at these coordinates on Google Sky. 19 hours, 27 minutes, 51.31 seconds. Declination is minus 35 degrees, 02, 49, 02, I think that's feet, 49.85 inches. Okay, so what I found here was a blue and orange oblong shape that looks like an alien UFO spaceship or planetary star system on Google Sky. I found it on December 29th, 2011, around 11:26 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the ID girl says. Okay, so over here I got a screenshot of Google Sky on Internet Explorer 8. It shows, see, web mapping tells you all about it. Launched 2007 was when the Google Sky program came out. The line 8 equation, so this is where we start doing the calculations. 2 divided by 411 equals 0.00486618005. Okay, so I'm going to Google that number, and boy did I have fun. Everything that came up was in Spanish, okay? So I had to use Google Translate to figure out what it meant. So it comes up with all these, see all these little words here? I did not know what they meant. So we go to Google Translate, and this is what they mean here. Okay, from Spanish to Arabic to English. Okay, so it still didn't actually translate. If you look at it, it's pretty much the same. So then I take the actual words out of the equation here and find that there's a mathematical calculation there, and then I take this word LDS Caseros de Paz, and it becomes villages and hamlets of the country, and I'm thinking, wow, that doesn't have much to do with what I'm looking at, right? So, okay, so let's try again. So I click on this, and I go to this villages thing, right? And this is what I came up with, this stuff here, right? Oh, there's the example de calculator mathematico. So when I went back into that, then I found out it meant example of mathematical calculation. So the next thing I did was I took the number Q, see this Q 135,932,0929. I'm always looking for numbers, right? 0.71. Times it by that and that. Okay, so I put these three numbers together, nothing comes up. So then I do Google Q, the 135,932,029.71, and this comes up. San Pedro, Zacatepec, Guatemala. Okay, and underneath that there's this nice little website that comes up. Datos de San Marcos. Right? And I'm reading blah blah blah, okay, whatever, what does this mean? And then Volcan Tajumulco. So at this point I'm thinking, no, there's nothing there. But then I thought, okay, let's Google this Volcan Tajumulco, right? It was in Spanish, so then I translate it, and this is what it comes up. Majestic figure inspiring Indian legends, Tajumulco volcano is the highest peak in Central America. This extinct volcano decorates the border between Guatemala and Mexico and is one of the sites necessary for the traveler. Tajumulco covers the horizon of the Mam region and is surrounded by nature's Marquense, an area that offers endless scenery from the mountain forest to tropical forest, a gift from Guatemalan geography. So I'm thinking, okay, Central America, and I'm thinking, isn't that where the Maya are from? So let's go over to here and we do a Google on the Tajumulco, and guess what comes up? Pilgrimage to the land of the 2012 Volcano Tajumulco. And then it says, at the main altar of the ancient city of lximche, I don't know how to say it, capital of the Kaqchikel Mayas, and I just freaked right out. this is where I did my happy dance. I'm thinking, okay, we're at line 8 and the Mayas are popping up in the WOW theory signal. So that's kind of cool for me, right? Because that's what I was talking about, that they were communicating with me in the first place, and then for them to pop up in this signal, I'm thinking this is too good to be true, right? So then, well, I'll tell you about my thoughts about all this. Okay, was a tough search. Every stinking thing came up in Spanish. Maybe that's not a good choice of words, but it was really hard for me because I was pressed for time and I was getting frustrated because I had to like Google every single word to figure out what it meant. Okay, so I had to Google translate each word or phrase and try to see what it has in connection with the word Maya. It's not Maya, sorry, somebody told me it's Maya. Maya, M-Y and then U-H, Maya. With the word Maya, outer space, or DNA. This is what I basically looked for during my quest. Datos de San Marcos and then Volcan Tajumulco comes up and I'm like, whatever. Then I search deeper and I'm freaking out. Bingo. Land of the 2012 Volcano Tajumulco Pilgrimage. Check out the keywords here in Google. At the main altar of the ancient city of lximche, capital of Kaqchikel Mayas. There they are again. Cool or what? Happy dance. Okay. So I wrote that note back in the beginning of January. So this is the Volcan Tajumulco. That's what it looks like. Here's some details about it. Elevation and stuff. And that's what it looks like on the map in that area. There's the degrees where it's located. Okay, Central America. Okay, so January 14, 2012, 4:06 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My thoughts, because so much information came up for line 8, I have divided it into parts 8A, 8B, 8C, and 8D. So we got 4 videos from this one line. And these are the titles for each of the videos, in case you can't find them. The first one's called Line A, WOW SETI 6EQUJ5. Big Ear Alien UFO. I found 19 hours, or 19H, 27M, 51.3S, Google Sky. The next one's Line B, WOW, lximche, Kaqchikel Maya City Backup, the Chilam Balam Books, Aliens Kepler 22b. That's the topic of that video. Next is Line 8C, Maya Cartoon 2, December 21st, 2012, World Prophecy from Chilam Balam, Bruce Schofield. You're going to find that one very interesting. We'll find out if the world's actually going to end or not. Line 8D, the Mayan calendar, 260 days, Kepler 22b, Earth's twin, orbit of Venus, WOW alien message, and Keith M. Hunter is the topic of that video. January 14, 2012, 4:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My thoughts. Google the main altar of the city of lximche, capital of the Kaqchikel Mayas, to find out what it means. And I find this picture here. So it looks like. It says lximche, capital of the Kaqchikel, is an ancient city of the Mayas. And it says lximche, I don't know how to say this. lximche is located in the western highlands of Guatemala. The architecture of the site included a number of pyramid temples, palaces, and 2 Mesoamerican ball courts. You can find that on Wikipedia under lximche. And more of my thoughts. Okay, January 14th, 2012, 4:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. At this point, I was really excited to find a connection to the Mayas and the WOW SETI radio telescope signal with the equation found in line 8, leading me to lximche, located in Guatemala, which turns out to be an ancient Maya city that was recently discovered back in the early 1960s, or maybe a bit before that. The Maya mysteriously disappeared. The city was vacated in 1524. I think I flew off my chair and did a happy dance and just about scared Harry to death when I found out that it was connected to the Maya. I seriously, I was screaming, jumping, and acting like an uproar, but I was like really happy, okay? My message is sent December 6, 2011. A few days later, I received some mathematical calculations that all point to a 3,000-year-old civilization. While I was doing my deciphering from that equation, I came across this WOW SETI signal, which honestly I've never heard of before in my life. I actually didn't find out about this signal till December 2011. Okay? Imagine that. It's 30 years old detection, August 15th, 1977, and it takes until 2011-2012 for me to find out what it's all about. When I started the assignment, I had no clue as to the meanings of any of these words. So when I don't know something, I refer to Wiki. I had a terrible thought the other day. What if Wikipedia runs into money troubles? Because you know when you go on the site, they're always asking for donations, right? And I'm like kind of freaked out about it, because if they cannot afford to run on the internet anymore, millions of us would be lost. It's the most used educational tool out there. I would hope the government to be kind enough to lend some support to this fantastic and much needed website for all of the students to gain knowledge from and learn. I used it for every single term. There was only a few things that, because they are from an ancient culture, I had to really dig around in Google to find people's blogs. Thank God for historians who blog about their facts, finds, and interests. If it weren't for them, it never would have been possible for me to take this task on and work it out with the help of their hundreds of websites, as you will see in the next 50 or so videos. I rely very heavily on the data I find on the internet to explain what we are looking at. If I find something I'm totally stumped about, I let you know and leave my thoughts, I do not know what this is, message on it. We should check and see if there's a cross-reference here with the Mayas abandoning this area in 1524 with cave paintings depicting UFO spaceships and suits on them. It might give us an idea of when they left Earth and flew towards the Kepler star system between Pegasus and Sagittarius star regions. We still do not know if the radio telescope signals are coming from a UFO that is traveling around or a planet that has a technology to hide it. Yes, you heard me. If aliens have technology to do a cloaking of UFOs like we saw in a recent find in outer space, which I blogged about in the last month or so, why not have a cloaking device for a whole planet? Scroll up here. It's possible for aliens. They seem to be able to do anything in the world that's impossible, or so we're constantly being told by scientists and crop circle investigations. This is impossible. No, you're wrong. It's possible to us. It's impossible to us because we lack the technology. It's not for them. Just as years ago when man first spoke of visiting the moon, the guys were locked up and declared insane, all because the humans living at that time couldn't see anything being different in the future. In this video series, we're going to look past earthly technology and look to see what is capable in alien technology. Okay, and the next section is going to be line 8B.